Hey guys, this is a Bridgeport M head attached to a Steinel horizontal mill, and what I wanted to show you today was I've been rebuilding this thing for quite a while. I wouldn't say rebuilding. I've been trying to get it operating, not rebuilding for those guys that do actually do that and do a great job with it. So I just took a lot of this stuff down. I cleaned it. I did not pull the bearings out of here. I guess there's 6 bearings, including the 2 pulley bearings. But you need a special tool to get in there, and I did not make that. I've got the parts to make that, but I wanted to get this thing up and running. So I cleaned it up as best I could without painting it, and kind of put it back together. And the problem I was having was this thing right here is I guess it's called the Gits oiler. Gits is the brand, and it's a wick oiling system. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a wick. It kind of feeds it down through the casting here, and I guess this is a bronze window, so you'll know it's working, I guess, if that's kind of dripping, because it occasionally drips. Goes through here. Goes through here. There's a hole. Sorry, I gotta get this thing. Comes down. There's a little hole here. Then there's like a paper washer, a gasket that's got a hole in it, and it actually goes up into the pulley. I don't know if it's a vacuum or what, but it kind of comes down and then it goes up into the pulley to oil the bearing starting here, and it just flows. They call it a total loss. It flows down through here and all the way down into the the quill and out the bottom. They call it a total loss oiling system. And I was having a problem. I couldn't get the thing working. I had this off for like a year while I was doing other things and wanted to get this thing going. So I was worried because they say if you're not oiling your bearings, it's not going to go for you. So I couldn't get it to work. I took this off again. I took the motor off. I took this whole thing apart. Thought maybe the paper gasket was blocked. It's not. It was all good, and I filled the cup, and still I didn't get any drips or anything. I even put, first I put Croil in there to see if I was putting too thick a spindle oil in, but I found out I got the right spindle oil. So anyway, long story short, what I just did is I figured last night when I was sleeping, when I seemed to solve all my problems, was I thought maybe I just didn't have enough in because it had been dry for a year and it just wasn't flowing through. It just wasn't enough oil to go through this whole thing. And so, 1 cup and it's a wick past the tube. And so it's really not going to go in that much on its own without some kind of draw. So I just thought of this. I got one of those old kind of like sports things. This is for acetone, but it was empty. So I filled this with some light spindle oil. The number 6, and I put this in and I just pressurized it through the tube, and what do you know, we are good to go. It just needed a little extra oil to get all the way down through these pulley bearings to the 2 bearings here, and then the 2 bearings down here. So I'll just turn this thing on. I got my phase converter going down here, so nice and quiet, and yeah, so I'm thrilled, and I just kind of wanted to let you guys know if that was any way of assistance. You can get these through the McMaster car for super cheap. So I was gonna get a new one because this one was bent when I got it. There's a heck of a bend in the tube up here. So I figured maybe I could just get a new one when I put in my next order for McMaster. And when I pressurized that, a lot of the oil came out through here, but then eventually it worked its way through the bearings, and now I've got it coming down into this little Tupperware cup. So I'm just gonna let that roll, and that's a little tip for now. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'm not sure I can help, but to the extent I can, I'd be happy to field anything. Okay, take care, guys.